Hey, we gonna see on the 15th. My shit. Nah, man.
Promotional work for Gervonta Davis fight has begun, and you know it will be exciting. The two American fighters, along with their teams, came to work on the promotion of the fight, and right there hell was let loose as Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach began the physical version of the fight they had started on X, formerly Twitter, last week. Many fans think the mind games have started too early, barely a week after the reveal.
Tips and stuff like that. But I knew for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool. It's all right. I don't really think too much of it.
For fighting a fighter as skilled and highly rated as Dan Davis, Lamont Roach ought to keep his heads down and get himself locked in with serious drills and training routines for the biggest night of his career. But rather than do this, he started a social media war against a better fighter. Their fight began when Lamont Roach said to Davis's team, "I'm coming hard for y'all. Trust me not to be like them. I'm a crush."
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just in height and stature. He was, technically bigger than Tank too. But Tank is comfortable at.
This sparked a response from Gervonta Davis, who then made an attempt to hit him while he moved close. "Keep telling me you'll do nothing. Guy, I'm a smoke. You like them all." But really, as weird and dramatic as this sounds, it proves to us how much action and fierceness we should be expecting on fight night, seeing the two fighters have some history together.
You ain't going nowhere then, nigga. You ain't going nowhere, nigga. What are you talking about?
Interestingly, Lamont Roach hasn't done so well with how much he's been out to slam Davis in such a little time within a week. He sent shots on X, formerly Twitter, and has even graced a live interview where he had so much to say about Tank on December 14th. Junior lightweight champion Lamont Roach Jr. will face Gervonta "Tank" Davis in Houston. Although many critics have pointed out the weight difference between the two Roaches, they do not believe it will affect the outcome of the fight. This bout will be for Davis's WBA title in a pay-per-view event.
135, so I don't blame him for fighting that way. But he's not a big 35. I don't see why people like, "Oh, you brought up a smaller guy, woo-de-woo, blah, blah, blah." I mean, like...
Roach explained in an interview with Najee Grampus of Cigar Talk that despite critics' opinions, Davis is not the biggest lightweight. Everybody he fights is damn near bigger than him. Roach said the only person that was smaller than him was Isaac Cruz, and that's just in height. Even though Lamont Roach currently competes in the 130 pounds division, his plan was always to move up to 135 pounds to capture another title. "I fight at 130 because that's where I campaign. That's where I started my career. That's where I work my way up to a world title," Roach explained.
To me personally, I'm not stunned. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep saying that. They're going to keep saying that. You know what I'm saying? I fight at 130 because that's what I campaign at. That's where I started my career.
He also made it clear that the decision to move up came earlier than expected. However, he feels ready to face Davis in this new weight class. Lamont Roach, who holds a record of 25 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, has competed at the 130 pounds limit since 2017. Before that, he weighed around 131 or 130 pounds, though in his early professional fights he weighed more than 134 pounds. When a boxer is starting their career, they don't necessarily have to make 130 pounds because we're not in title contention or none of that, Roach explained. On the other hand, Gervonta Davis, a 29-year-old from Baltimore, has had a notable career moving across various divisions.
Where I campaigned, that's why I worked my way up to a world title. And that's what I was going to do. My plan was always to move up to 35 and win another title.
Davis began as a featherweight in 2013, but it was in 2017 that he established himself in the junior lightweight division after knocking out Jose Pedraza for a world title. Since then, he has fought in several weight classes, including lightweight and junior welterweight, before returning to 135 pounds. Both fighters have a slight height difference. Roach stands at 170 while Davis is 165 tall, reinforcing the idea that the physical difference will not be a decisive factor in the fight.
35 fights, when a boxer starting their career, you don't necessarily have to make 130 pounds because we're not in title contention.
Lamont Roach emphasized that his opponent feels comfortable at 135 pounds but doesn't consider him a big lightweight earlier. Davis was of the belief that Lamont's coach isn't any better than the last 30 boxing fighters he defeated. Hence, he should remain calm and humble until the day of punishment, where he would be low-key punished.
You know what I'm saying? But what I'm getting at is I dominated Hector. I dropped Hector. I heard him before I dropped him. And they still...
But not Lamont. Roach doesn't want a silent win. He wants whoever would emerge victorious about being as loud and courageous as possible. He even called out Frank Martin. and claimed he would never show up in a fight as cowardly as Frank Martin did. Hence, he's set to change the narrative at this juncture, but can he really do that? You probably saw the fierce exchange they had on X, formerly Twitter, but there was so much more than that. This fight once again proves the stardom of Tank, as he was once again allowed to handpick a music. Challenger fans were not happy with the announcement, as Rook is quite unproven against top stars like Tank. Furthermore, he will have a disadvantage coming from a lighter weight division despite being the World Boxing Association Super Featherweight Champion. Champion fans are not excited about the fight, but the boxer duo decided to hype up the clash when both of them got into a war of words on X as Rook tried to troll the WBA lightweight champion just to receive a stellar response.
135, so I don't blame him for fighting that way, but he's not a big 35. I don't see why people would like, oh, you brought up a smaller guy, woo-de-woo, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like...
The argument started when heavyweight boxer Marcel Williams
asked Davis about the camp fees to spar with the champion. Williams wanted to work on his skills and had every motivation to make the situation work. However, Lamont Roach Jr. quickly responded to the tweet and stated he was going to need to spar you, bro. Davis immediately asked the meaning behind the post, and Roach quoted a fan reaction who explained the tweet. Music Roach quoted a fan reply who wrote the translation, "You need to spar someone heavy because he's coming with it," explaining the meaning behind Roach's tweet. According to the Reaper, the 30-year-old boxer needs to spar against heavier boxers before their fight in December, and even though Davis is thinking of an effortless fight, Roach will take this opportunity to make a name for himself and increase his stocks.
Me personally, I'm not stunned that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to keep saying that. They're going to keep saying that. You know what I'm saying? I fight at 130 because that's what I campaigned at. That's why I started my career.
Tank did not let the disrespect go idly as he responded and wrote, "I advise you not to talk so much. It can be bad for you. You know that already." The U stated that Rook should do the talking inside the ring and not online. He further warned Rook about the consequences of making the World Boxing Association lightweight champion angry. The war of words quickly picked up steam from there as Rook struck back and stated that he was not like the other guys Davis had fought music before. Over the years, Tank has been accused of handpicking his opponents. Roach wrote, "You must think I'm one of them regulars. You fought or some LOL, cut it out messy," making sure that the Baltimore native knows it won't be like his previous fights. Even though he is from a lower weight class, he wants this fight and will do anything and everything to shock the world. Davis once again decided to control his words and indicated that he would talk while in the ring.
This between us both already, that we competed twice before in 2 close fights in the amateurs, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he quoted Reaper's tweet and just wrote, "Say nothing," expressing his superiority over the World Boxing Association Super Featherweight Champion. This is online. War has created some hype for the fight. The fight will take place at 135 pounds, and the World Boxing Association lightweight title will be on the line. This will be Rook's biggest fight ever, and with his title not being on the line, he can perform without much pressure. Music Rook will move up to 135 pounds, from 130 pounds, where he holds the World Boxing Association crown, and insists he has a far tougher challenge than Martin, who Tank dispatched in 8 rounds in June respectfully. "I'm not Frank Martin," the 29-year-old told Cigar Talk. Frank Martin started boxing when he was 15. He didn't have the experience to be in there with someone as skilled and as experienced as him.
Both break bread, we get it. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a big fight.
Yeah.
So
it's
I
always been love.
knew, it always been love for sure. But I always knew that right here would come because he's one of the best, and I know for 100% for a fact that I'm one of the best. You know what I'm saying? So
got the same skill level as Tank. I've got the same experience as Tank. I've got the reflexes. I've got the ability, and I've damn sure got the IQ. The Reaper has already faced Davis twice before in the amateurs, losing by decision on both occasions. The Washington man has won 6 on the bounce since dropping a unanimous decision to Jamal Herring in a bid for the World Boxing Council Super Featherweight title in 2019, securing the World Boxing Association crown with a split decision victory over Hector Luis Garcia in November 2023, whom Tank knocked out 10 months prior. Davis, who is from neighboring Baltimore, has won 28 of his 30 professional fights by knockout. However, Roach insists he has the chin to stand up to the 29-year-old's power.
Released to the public, we know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach.
What makes people think I'm going to end up like those guys who didn't have the experience and skill he added? I think I've got a lovely chin. I got hit on my chin a couple of times. Ain't nobody ever drew me. Nobody ever sees me hurt in a fight. the power might be a little different. Gervonta Davis is still excited about his victory this past June over Frank Martin. The devastating knockout in the 8th round cemented Tank Davis's reputation as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters today.
Released to the public, we know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each.
Motivated by his crushing victory, the lightweight champion issued a veiled warning to his next opponent, Lamont Roach. Tanks showed no mercy to Martin in their June 15 clash at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. The World Boxing Association lightweight champion dominated the fight from start to finish until he knocked out the Ghost at 29 minutes of the 8th round. After this victory, media and fans expected Davis to face one of the top prospects at 135 pounds, Shakur Stevenson or Vanessa Lukashenko. However, fans have not responded as well as the champion liked.
From the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, you know. Roach and him back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach.
In a recent post on his Instagram account, Davis published a photo of his knockout of Martin. In the image, he can be seen celebrating the victory with his rival lying on the canvas. The champion accompanied the image with the caption, "December Houston, the one long-lived baby, Frank." The clear illusion of their next fight is the latest in the war of words that Davis and Rook have been maintaining since their fight was announced late in September.
Always, he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for...
And just last Friday, Davis decided to intervene in an old beef after news broke that Haney had filed a lawsuit against his last opponent, alleging battery fraud and unjust enrichment relating to their fight in April. The highly controversial bout saw Garcia dominate Haney, flooring him 3 times in a ruthless beatdown, which he won on points. However, it later emerged that he failed multiple drug tests on the day before and the day of the fight. As a result, Garcia's team accepted a settlement with the New York Commission, which saw him handed a 1-year ban and fined $1 million. With the win overturned to a no contest, Haney is taking things into his own hands with further legal action.
Someone like Devin, you know what I mean, talk all that trash and then overlook my opponent and then get knocked out.
Tank, Martin was really confident in this press conference.
Haney's attorney, Pat English, wrote in a 16-page filing that his client is seeking punitive damages awarded separately from the actual damages from an event. At no time did Devin Haney consent to engage in a bout against a boxer who was positive for a performance-enhancing drug and would not have proceeded with the bout had he known the lawsuit. Reads the New York Commission would not have permitted the bout had it known of the positive finding or of Garcia's the 4th use. Adding insult to the commission into the sport of boxing, Mr. Garcia has alleged that he was high as F during his bout with Mr. Haney. This very clearly brings disrepute to the sport of boxing and, by derivation, to the New York State Athletic Commission.
Today, that not only is he going to secure a win, but that he's going to get a knockout. How much of that do you think is false confidence?
It's crazy to think that. I mean, but it's boxing, so anything can.
The actions of Ryan Garcia and those who assisted him evince a high degree of moral turpitude and demonstrate wanton dishonesty as to imply criminal indifference to his civil obligations, as well as willful or wanting negligence or recklessness, or where there is a conscious disregard of the rights of others or conduct so reckless as to amount to such disregard in relation to the battery count. English added Haney at no time agreed to engage and end out against an individual who had taken a performance-enhancing drug. His consent was limited to about fairly and under the rules and prohibitions set forth above. Thus, the fighting touch by Garcia was non-consensual.
I wouldn't say like he's wild for thinking that, but he gonna have to try hard though.
Yeah.
Best for Lee, he gonna have to try hard.
So how?
Devin Haney suffered damages in that he suffered physical injury, reputational damage, which will amount to millions of dollars, and emotional and mental distress. The fraud count is connected to Garcia's signed documents vowing he would not use performance-enhancing drugs, and the unjust enrichment count stems from Haney's legal team's assessment that Garcia doesn't deserve to keep his purse in pay-per-view profits. The news of the lawsuit has set the boxing world alight. One person who initially didn't give any reaction is Haney's lightweight rival Davis, who is friendly with Garcia after they fought last year.
Are you going to get a win on Saturday?
I'm very confident, but you know, again, boxing, you never know, so I'm being cautious and things like that.
I mean, we saw what happened with the Haney and Garcia fight.
Yeah.
In response to a fan who tweeted, "Didn't Bill Haney say they were sending in Devin Haney to kill Ryan Garcia? He said he really wants Ryan to die in the ring." Now Team Haney is saying they could have died in wanting to sue LOLB move. Davis simply gave his thoughts by replying, "Crazy how life works elsewhere." Davis's name is being mentioned for an entirely different reason. Tim Tszyu and the Turki Alalshik relations are turning sour with every exchange in public comment.
It's come together, our promotions as just one. What do you think about that? You think it's a possibility?
That would never happen because everybody don't agree.
You don't think it'll happen?
On the same page. Everybody not.
It seems their relationship is irreparable now as the Australian champion has decided to engage in a verbal conflict with him, but boxing fans are divided over the development. Notably, Zulu 29 had to face Virgil Ortiz Jr. when Terence Crawford endeavored against Israel Move and attempted to clinch the welterweight championship. However, he had to drop out of the coveted card first by the Saudi Arabia manager on American soil. As expected, the latter didn't take it lightly, and he has since decided to cut ties with the former world champion.
That would have been happening.
Tank, you once mentioned that your hit list consisted of Devin, Loma, and Shakur. Is that still the same hit list?
He had even declared I would not work with Tim's. Let him do his way. He doesn't understand. It didn't take long for TU to respond with an apt jab. The 20-for-1 record holder appeared in a conversation with Mo Boxing. No problem in the video. The fans could hear the interviewer drawing a parallel between him. Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez, referencing Tank's comments, said it's you, Devin, Davis and Canelo. Gervonta said something interesting. He said, "You know guys like me and Canelo, we kind of don't have to kiss the ring because..."
It's every year, anybody at 135. It's not that.
Are you interested in being undisputed at 135?
Yeah, for sure.
Gervonta, he doesn't like...
Following this, the host pointed out how the American boxer sold fights in America, whereas Alvarez sold tickets in Mexico and Tszyu did the same in Australia. When asked about Davis's comment, Tszyu answered in an affirmative tone and continued, "Yeah, to a certain extent, yeah. There is, we don't have to again sell our soul as they say for money." These comments compelled the fans to turn to the comment section and share what they thought of this statement. Fans are split over Tszyu's candid opinion. One fan referenced the ongoing controversy surrounding Diddy, whose parties were extravagant, and sees headlines on the internet. They wrote, "How is it selling your soul? They're acting like they got to get in Diddy pool. All they're doing is fighting the fighters on the Riyadh season are paid a hefty paycheck for putting on a show for the fans. That's the reason more high-stakes fights are happening in Riyadh now."
Should we expect him by the shot? Stoppage in itself, you could tell it's a round. You know it's early, but we want to know the round.
A user pointed out the past relationship between Turki Alalshik and they expressed, "But wasn't he on the Crawford undercard put TG by Turkey before he pulled out?" Notably, Ty's promoter No Limit had floated a theory that Turki Alalshik was doing it to promote and push, but also the Riyadh season ambassador. Someone sued did a fine job speaking up. However, they feared the consequences. They commented, "I'm glad folks are speaking up, but hopefully he doesn't get cancelled now." Very few have decided to turn down an offer to join hands with Turki Alalshik because of the monetary pull. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get notified when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.